Coster. Welcome to the latest edition of Live Lunch Break. Coming at you as I speak from theday.com. This is a very special first-time event at Live Lunch Break. And I'll bet you think I'm going to say that it's the first one that we've aired since we won the Whaley Awards last week for Best Music Series, local music series. And thank you guys so much for nominating us, all you guys that were involved in it, and the folks that voted for us. It's very flattering, but that's not what I was talking about. The special thing is that our guest today, Phil Newland, and I both intuitively knew to wear orange. And that just shows a kinship. We've never met before today, but so we've got orange shirt, my orange teeth. So anyway, we're very happy to have with us from Stonington, a very fine acoustic musician and songwriter. So I hope you enjoy Phil Newland.
This is a song called New Car Song Blues, inspired by the fact that all the classic cars are gone and no one's writing the classic tunes about the classic cars. I've been listening to the radio with no particular place to go. I have noticed that there ain't no jive about those new cars that we drive. You can't write about a Hyundai like the cars of yesterday. It would not sound as fine as Buick 59. Motivating in a Cadillac is really gonna take you back. Cruising in an Oldsmobile will let you know just how you feel. And when you're shaking your money maker, why not do it in a Studebaker? But it's my Rocket 88 that's gonna make you feel just great. Now lately I've been thinking you can make it in a hot rod Lincoln, but I really don't think you ought to try to do that in a Toyota. There ain't nothing like a Coupe de Ville that's gonna give you a thrill. I'm crazy about a Mercury. It's something you just got to see. They're not making those Thunderbirds, no matter what you might have heard. Let me tell you about a GTO. Man, it's really gonna make you go. Have you heard about that little Deuce Coupe? It's gonna knock you for a loop. There ain't no song about Mary Lou driving around in a Subaru. I've been listening to that radio with no particular place to go. I noticed that there ain't no jive about them new cars that we drive. Motivating in a Cadillac, they're really gonna take you back. Crazy about that Mercury, it's something you just got to see. Take your souped up Chevy, drive it to the levee. Hey baby, that's what I like. Now this next tune is called The Last Time I Closed the Door. My footsteps echo in the hall. There are no pictures on the wall. All the furniture is gone. This time I'm moving on. All but memories and dust are the only things that I stop to turn and look once more. This is the last time I'll close the door, wishing only that I could remember what we had was good, recalling everything we had, sometimes good, sometimes bad. The ghosts of everything that's past are the only things that last. Remembering what it all was for. This is the last time I'll close the door. I see photos in my mind, single frames locked in time. First we laughed, then we cried. I know that I can't turn back the tide. I know my heart is in my throat. I think that I must keep hope afloat. Silence like the ocean's roar. This is the last time I close the door. I see a sunbeam that touched the floor. This is the last time I close the door.
Come to Cloder Farms.
Lose yourself in the possibilities for your home, yard, heart, and soul.
Come to Cloder Farms.
And see what we're building for you.
Offshore, out in the Sound, your island getaway awaits. Yes, Block Island beckons. With so much to do and see, a Block Island getaway is now closer than ever. Ride the high-speed Block Island Express from New London on one of 4 daily departures, where an island escape is yours at GoBlockIsland.com. That's GoBlockIsland.com.
So by doing the house and trade-in, you know, that we use that towards our down payment towards this condo, and it made life so much easier for us. It took all the worry out of everything.
Hi, Rick Coster here. It's almost summer, certainly if you're outside. I guess it's getting warm, humid. That's all the more reason to be in the air conditioning watching Live Lunch Break. We have with us today Phil Newland. Really good stuff in that first segment. And we were talking before the show started about the process of songwriting. And before we talk a little bit about that, because you sort of went from a spin of standard blues on the first tune to what I would call a country ballad. But back up a little bit. Do you remember the first time, whether it was on television, on record, radio, or whatever, you heard an artist and you said, wait a minute, I got to do this? Who was it? Or do you remember it all?
Well, I have to say, one of those experiences, there may have been a few, but one of them was an older brother of mine. I have 5 brothers. One of them got a Ray Charles Greatest Hits album when I was a kid. They got this for a Christmas present. And I heard
Santa got Ray Charles. I interrupted. I'm sorry.
No, not a problem. And I have to say, even as a young boy, I heard that voice and was just really knocked out by the emotion in the voice. And, it was a little bit out of step with what was going on with my generation at the time. I certainly did love the Beatles and the Stones and stuff like that, but I also loved hearing Lou Rawls as well, people like that. So it was a mix of the pop and frankly, Ray Charles did country music. As much as he started off doing rhythm and blues, he did country songs. One in particular is "You Don't Know Me," which is an awesome song.
Yep.
And it's a country song. Also, "Ruby." There's another one, I believe, not the one by
Kenny,
but there was another one.
Right.
Anyway, not to carry on, but I definitely remember that Christmas listening to Ray Charles.
I think that's what you're saying about that is so many of those artists, whether it's Aaron Neville or Jerry Lee Lewis, have that crossover, and certainly Elvis with the gospel, and they're. I don't know that happens so much anymore. If you're growing up, there's so much that's definitely pigeonholed as this niche or that.
Right.
And radio formats or whatever, if indeed anybody still listens to radio, are so regimented that you don't get that crossover exposure. And I think as a songwriter, it's valuable that you did hear all of that stuff.
I have to say yes. As a matter of fact, when people ask me what my set is like, I call it an acoustic mix bag because I cover so much different stuff. I find that if a song is an emotional content, it overrides what style it is. It just if it grabs me, it could be a rock and roll song or a country song or a blues tune. And
the last song you played, the last time I'll close the door, it is absolutely to me a country ballad, a weeper. Off air, you referenced George Jones, certainly, but when the idea came to you, it didn't necessarily come to you as country, right?
No, I had an idea when I was moving out of an apartment, which was there was a failed relationship, and I had moved out gradually, a little at a time, by myself. And I made the last trip through the apartment, and I stopped to close the door, and everything that had occurred there, whether it was good or bad, all the memories of that. And hundreds of times I came and went, and I realized this is the last time I'll close the door. And I thought, what a tune, what a title for a song. So I stewed on that for years, quite honestly. I had little phrases pop into my head. And I tried to put it to a blues groove, and an older gentleman of mine, a friend of mine, said, it sounds like a country tune to me. So I actually went right home after he made that comment and sat down and thought, well, George Jones, Merle Haggard, let's be as simple as possible with this and just write it, steal some of their tricks. The chords are not unique. They sound like something pulled right out of one of their tunes, but the emotion, it hangs there. I think it has the value in that.
I think there's a lot of discipline and experience involved, wisdom, whether learned or instinctual, to be able to consciously say, we don't need a bunch of ninth chords and some convoluted structure. This is simple. The emotions are raw, and you just nailed it. It's a pretty thing.
Thank you. Yeah.
So we're sitting here talking and listening to Phil Newland, a very fine Stonington singer-songwriter, and it's live lunch break, and we'd be honored to hear a couple more if you're ready.
I'm ready. Here's a song I wrote years ago, which I thought was kind of silly at first, but I realized I never forgot it. So, and it's about a one-night stand where you don't know the person, but you never forget them. way I feel. I can't believe that I found it. Can't believe that I found it. The moment I've been waiting for is here. Come back again, like darkness that steals. For a moment it lingers, like rain through your fingers. And in the gray morning it's gone. Come back again. You go and miss your woman. You were my friend, and I did not know your name, but I love you just the same. And you loved me till the night was through. And down through the years, my memory wanders, often with fondness of that moment back in time. Come back again. Where you go and miss your woman? You were my friend, and I did not know your name, but I love you just the same. And you loved me till the night was through. And I did not know your name, but I love you just the same. And you loved me till the night was through. This next tune is a song, the only time I've ever had this experience where a song, I was playing these chords, and I went into a friend's dark room where he was printing pictures back in the day when you had to do that. So I couldn't leave until he was done printing the photos. So I sat there, and the words for this song came pouring out of me intact. I've never had that experience since then. I wish it would happen more often. It's called The Cowboy That's Born to Lose. I was a moving 500 head of cattle way down by the Rio Grande. It was a cutthroat lot that ran off my stock, and it looks like I'm stranded again. Well, by the time I get back to Reno, my girl will be leaving town with some diamond-studded silkback, a gambling man making time on the old southbound. Well, the sun, she's just like a woman. She can shine when love's a golden rays. But in the year of a drought, well, there just ain't no doubt that you'll get no relief for days. She's just like a woman. She can shine when love's a golden rays. But in the year of a drought, well, there just ain't no doubt that you'll get no relief for days. Sometimes I get so lonesome, Lord, I just cannot shake these blues. But by now I know that all of you fine talking women don't want a cowboy that's born to lose. Don't want a cowboy that's born to lose.
It's pretty clear that we had something to offer that other agents' listings did not have to offer. We offered them the opportunity to sell their home, get their home sold in a very slow, tough market.
Come to Cloder Farms.
Lose yourself in the possibilities for your home, yard, heart, and soul.
Come to Cloder Farms.
And see what we're building for you.
Offshore, out in the Sound, your island getaway awaits. Yes, Block Island beckons. With so much to do and see, a Block Island getaway is now closer than ever. Ride the high-speed Block Island Express from New London on one of 4 daily departures, where an island escape is yours at GoBlockIsland.com. That's GoBlockIsland.com.
This is Live Lunch Break. Today our guest is Stonington's Phil Newland. I'm Rick Coster. You're watching theday.com. Should remind you that, as always, even though this is live, we have all of our artists and their performances archived, and you can spend hours watching this stuff. I recommend that you do, as a matter of fact. Phil, in that last segment, you did an almost what I would consider to be a sort of a pop song structure with Lately I Feel. And then you had a song about a cowboy, but out of left field, the guitar music behind it is almost like cabaret, French cabaret jazz chords, which makes me, now, and you might say, you're an idiot, that's not what happened at all, but it makes me wonder, how does the muse work for you? Like, what about the chords you just played in the last song made you think, how did you make the leap to writing it about a cowboy?
Well, it just happened. I can't explain how.
I mean, you did say the lyrics occurred to you.
Right. It was like there was no thought process at all. I think if I'd have thought about that, I may not have connected with that. People ask what kind of song that is. I call it kind of a cowboy jazz song. That's exactly what I call it. It's hard to describe it. It's not a typical country song. In fact, if you count the meter, it's in 6/8. Almost a waltz, but not quite. You count it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And in fact, it feeds into itself. It's an endless loop. It has no ending until the last chord. There's no what we call resolve until the last chord is played, which was another thing that was unusual about it. And it took me, I had no idea what to do with it until that happened.
Cool.
It just kind of, I sat at the end of that experience, I just sat there and went, wow. And it's like that perfect golf shot you hit once and you can't do it again. It's like you try. What did I do right that time? And you can't get it. You
right.
know? There's a lot of work goes into these other songs I wrote. I sat and had ideas. I write them on scraps of paper. I've discovered them laying around the house when I finally cleaned my house. And I started putting them on file on my computer, whether they were good or bad. I said, they're ideas. So,
right.
So let's see. So you put them somewhere where they're accessible, and you can go back and change them. And if you come up with a piece of a chord section that feels right, but you can change the line anytime you want to. You can adjust it to fit. Maybe it says something better with fewer words. You're using too many words. Find a way to say it with just a few words. And the great thing about music is, like we said earlier, is there's an emotional content. So you can imply something, and that combined with the music gives you the emotion.
Right. You have a very warm, distinctive baritone. I wonder sometimes, you get these people that you and I can hate if we want to, that have these 4-octave ranges or whatever, and if they're songwriters, it's like whatever melody occurs to them, fine, because they can do it. Do you ever have a killer melody occur to you, and then you go, wait a minute, that isn't quite within my range? And if so, do you just change the key, or do you alter the melody, or how do you work at that context?
I changed the key. I do have a bass baritone voice. I I really enjoy some tenor singers. Jesse Colin Young was a wonderful voice.
Great voice.
Neil Young. People ask me if I do Neil Young. I say I can't.
2 octaves lower.
Yeah, and it wouldn't sound like him.
Yeah, exactly.
And so what they love about hearing his voice, they wouldn't get from my voice.
Right.
And I hate to be disdainful, but sometimes I wonder if people are listening when they make a request like that, because a good listener will notice that
Exactly.
fact. Maybe Johnny Cash. I get a lot of that. Leon Redbone.
Yeah.
Can you do this or that? And I may not know the song, but at least I'm inspired by the fact that they've recognized the qualities of my voice and are asking for something that's appropriate, that
Right.
would fit.
That's a great point. Now, in that context, where can people see you coming up?
Well, I'm playing it on the 13th, which is a Thursday night, from 5 to 7 at the Saltwater Farms Vineyard off of 1A in Stonington.
Do they give you free wine?
Yeah, they give me free wine.
I always have to ask that.
You can bring your own snack platter there. That's actually a good deal. So
Not a bad deal. Okay.
On the 15th, I'm down at the Stonefleet Tavern.
Which is right down the
right
street
down
from
the street
us.
here. It starts at 8 o'clock. On the 23rd in the mornings, which is going to be a rough one, the Chester Farmers Market, which should be fun.
When you say in the morning,
It's 10 to 12.
oh, that's fine. Everybody can do that. Even musicians can do
Yeah,
that.
well, it depends on what you did Saturday night, right? And actually, I have to say, on July 4th, I'm up in Monson, Massachusetts, which is my hometown. They have a Summerfest, and it's a wonderful town. They had a tornado obliterate it 2 years
Oh,
ago,
man.
and they bounced back very well. I'm really proud
for
of those
them.
people. Really good people.
Excellent.
And I can't go without saying howdy to my friends down at FTech. The Foxwoods. If I didn't say that, they would give me a lot of grief. It's the guys I work with at Foxwoods at the FTech down at Eagle Park. So, hey guys.
I think that's very thoughtful of you and gracious
Well-
to your friend. So, our guest today has been Phil Newland. Would you play one more for us?
Sure. I'm going to do a song my brother wrote called "I Still Wonder Why." I gave her everything except for the bills we owe. That's just the way it goes. You can't always win. Now I'm working overtime to get myself out of debt, and I'll never place a bet on a filly again. We made a vow until death do his part. But you young to know it was wrong from the start. Nobody's wrong, there's no wrong or right. Yet I still wonder why when I lie awake in the night. Yet I still wonder why when I lie awake in the night. She gave me everything, but I wasn't satisfied. I thought I didn't need the love that we had. Now she's off and on her own and starting a brand new life, and I learned to live alone, take the good with the bad. We made a vow until death do his part. Too young to know it was wrong from the start. That nobody's wrong, there's no wrong or right. Yet Yet I still wonder why when I lie awake in the night. Yet I still wonder why when I lie awake in the night. We made a vow until death do us part. But too young to know it was wrong from the start. Nobody's wrong, there's no wrong or right. Yet I still wonder why when I lie awake in the night. Yet I still wonder why when I lie awake in the night. Yet I still wonder why when I lie awake in the night. Sometimes I cry when I lie awake in the night.
Stonington's Phil Newland, that was terrific, sir.
Thank you
Thanks
very
for
much.
being here.
Thanks for having me.
Look for him. We're going to make sure he records a debut CD soon. We're going to stay on him. Next week, we've got Borrowed Toys. Tune in again. It's noon every Thursday at theday.com. This is Live Lunch Break. Have a wonderful weekend.